Hello and welcome back, everyone, to Duel Masters on the PlayStation 2 on Rocket Rabbit Commentaries. And in this episode, Rebecca takes on the Water Monk as we are getting very close to the end of her campaign. As Pascadet mentions here, I prefer to actually keep Dude Joe alive for mana, but, you know, I decided to play slightly more aggro heavy this time, which means bringing out Brawler Xyler first, because Water doesn't have any, like, really good 2-drops. So, you know, being able to swing out before Water really has a good chance to start building a board presence is rather important to me.
Yes, aggro. Especially important in a game where attack points don't matter when you're attacking your opponent directly.
Yeah.
Reminds me of the exploit I learned in Dungeon Dice Monsters when I realized, so all I have to do is just keep spawning, you know, level 1 or level 2 creatures, because as long as I can force my opponent to run out of spawn zones, then I take out the creatures he has on the board, or I get around him, then I win the game, because he can't fucking fight back.
That was the whole point behind, what was it, Snake Hair and... Was it Snake Hair and Zombie Soldier?
I know Snake Hair was one of them, because Snake Hair is cheap.
Yeah. But
so,
yeah, there was a level 2 zombies deck in the Dungeon Dice Monsters GBA title that was just absurdly overpowered. A really, really good aggro deck.
Oh yeah, aggro is definitely the way to go in Dungeon Dice Monsters. And similarly, in this game, if you cannot defend your life points because your creatures are too expensive, you're going to be in a predicament early game that will have disastrous consequences for your overall outcomes.
Like the Water Monk is here, because we are one turn away from killing him, and he has no defensive steroids. Aside from, I believe he's got Virtual Tripwire in his hand, which would enable him to take down nothing. Because yeah, we actually have a Phantom Fish on the board right now. So.
Yep, because I count 4 attackers on our side, and he's only got 2 defenders.
You count 3 attackers on our side. Phantom Fish can't attack.
Defender. Creatures with Defender can't attack, but they can inflict damage in case a creature should come along and try to cause a ruckus.
Yeah. Defending Trample still fucking confuses me, for the record.
Defender with Trample?
No, not Defender with Trample. Defending while you have Trample.
Well, that sounds like the Colossus of Akros. I lost the game. I won the game!
Alright, what did we get? We got Volcanic Arrows, which you'll never use, Stampeding Longhorn, which is interesting, and Grey Balloon, which is a card that Rebecca would never use anyway.
Legendary!
Stampeding Longhorn is a good card if you're running a green deck, but you already have access to his effect via Mass Pomegranate, so you just end up running that instead. Hey, Hanu. Or is it Hanu?
Lights. Camera.
And so,
what the fuck?
We waterport over to the lair of Ambergris.
Who was responsible for dragging me into this world? I will have my...
This is, taking a very Legend of Zelda turn.
No, fight for me.
I am King of the Zoras.
Well, King of the Sharks, actually. That's what King of, or even more specifically, King of the Leviathans. That is
King of the Sea.
Hey, Alcadeus.
Neptune.
Ambergris, for the record, has almost the exact same deck as the Water Monk. So we're gonna end up playing this almost exactly the same as we did against the Water Monk. It's just that we didn't open with Brawler Xyler, so it's gonna be a slightly longer game.
Yep, and if this game had enjoyed the longevity to actually develop its card pool, you would see that Water would have finally gotten around that problem by having more early drops.
It would have tried to do that, but I'm relatively certain that the best early game water monster that they got, even for the GBA titles, which released slightly after this, was still either a 2 or a 3 drop.
Yeah, I believe in big drops. I get my mana really big and make my creatures really big. Make my opponents crap their pants.
And that's what green wants to do in this game, but although it does it relatively well, it doesn't do it well enough.
Find wait. You are a tutorial boss. We can defeat you by working on our aggro strategy.
Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna attempt to take down his King Coral. He let us do that. Awesome. So from there, we put down, I do believe this turn we put down, either Phantom Fish or Revolver Fish. Yeah, Revolver Fish, in order to shut down his offense.
Candy drop.
Yes, past Gurdet, President Gurdet has already mentioned the problem with the limited card pool. The Candy Drop is interesting because it actually starts the power spiral of unblockables in water, where Candy Drop is can't be blocked. This is a problem, but not a big problem because we already have a Volcano Don in order to take it down if we need to, or we can attempt to take it out with Aqua Hulkus and trade off for his Aqua Shooter.
Yeah, it's all it's gonna do is just accelerate him into the ground because now he can't block with the Candy Drop.
Well, he couldn't block with the Candy Drop anyway, so. Cloud is still having problems just figuring out what actually counts as a defensive creature.
I can count. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on the other side I see 1 and 2.
Yes, you can count. Now, how many defensive creatures does Ambergris have?
3?
No, 2.
Damn it.
Thank you, Revolver Fish.
Swinging up in places.
Now we're gonna let him take down the shield specifically because, well, now that I have 6 mana and 2 shields, I can take down his Aqua Knight and then I can trade in one of my creatures for his Aqua Shooter and bring out my legendary Banner. Yeah.
Yes, very chess. Trading material. This for that.
It's okay, Bastard. I understand that it's a more difficult play than it looks like.
Very
Just like
quiet at the bottom of the sea.
Oh, he decided to not block us. Dang it.
We have tied the game. We have almost tied the game.
No, we are winning right now. We are just objectively winning.
He's got a big problem right now. Is he has to spawn not just one, he's got to spawn. Well, I mean, now we're just using Summoning Sickness and a already developed board in order to wear him down turn after turn. But it's gonna be a little slow.
No, it's not. We should actually win this turn. Yeah, we have 4 attackers to his 3 shields. So.
Yep.
Unless he's trigger Spiral Gate, which if he does trigger Spiral Gate, he'll probably bounce Revolver Fish because it has the highest power of creatures on our field. The AI is very predictable on normal, is what I'm saying.
I am Ambergris. I am a mid-game boss.
End of game boss, actually.
Oh.
Again,
we're already at the end of the game.
Yeah, this is Rebecca's final fight before she has to go into the tournament. So. And so we have successfully defeated Ambergris using Dude Joe, and he goes back into his glacial prison. Mwah.
So that was the first time I've seen the game treat the enemy as just another creature on the board, because usually we see the null space in which the player loses, saying, "Oh, dazzle me! I've lost so spectacularly."
And we will successfully lead Ambergris to the vengeance he seeks. I forget. I'm pretty sure we take. We take Rebecca against Amphibian for the final match, but.
Okay.
For the record,
You have
okay,
done well.
we're doing cutscenes again.
Knight was correct to trust in you. Congratulations. There are important.
You
battles
have
in the
solved the
ahead.
riddle
Enjoy
inside
your
the
deck,
fish
and
tank.
then meet me in the tournament hall.
Yay, we got King Ambergris. King Ambergris is an interesting field buff for water. It effectively makes all of your creatures liquid people. It's very nice.
Nice.
Mind you, since the best deck, since the best water deck in the game is already liquid people, it doesn't help that deck specifically out that much. But you know, it's pretty nice.
He
Now, do
can
we
be
want to
your
take out?
commander.
Yeah, we take out Sea Mine to put in our copy of Ambergris. Yay!
All right,
We also got
speedrunners, you
another copy of
following along?
Rothis. We got another copy of Rothis for beating Ambergris, so we're trying to figure out how to put it in. I think we take out a Stone Sword for it. No, we take out a Volcanodon for it. I probably should have taken out Stone Sword for it, honestly, because Volcanodon is just a much better creature to answer Dianork with. But oh well.
Let's go to the mall.
No,
I mean,
we're
let's
going
go to the tournament
hall
hall.
in order to get to the end of Rebecca's actual campaign. You can continue to farm up if you want to make Rebecca's deck slightly better, specifically for Crystal Lancers. I chose not to do that.
Have you prepared for the tournament?
I am ready, but I wouldn't have been without you and Luke.
Yay!
Thanks.
Then
Best
meet
friends
this
forever.
challenge that has been
All right,
made
I'm gonna go back to being off screen for the rest of the game. See ya.
Not the rest of the game, actually. We'll get to play as Luke. We'll get to play as Luke shortly, but if you'll notice, we unlock Jalen. What that means is we have the ability to play as Jalen and his deck in Free Duel.
Well,
But
here we are, the tournament of tournaments, the tournament of 5 colors.
yay!
You must
Oh,
each
good.
represent
Everybody's
something
here. We got blue, red, black, green, and what?
The winners will
yellow.
represent their color in the final ceremony to restore the balance. If any of the Widow's duelists win, all is lost.
And with this class
See those brackets. You must overcome each of the brackets.
What's going to happen?
That's so true.
If you need any information, you can consult our Duel Masters corresponding bracketologist.
Behold the actual brackets.
Bracketology.
All right, so we're gonna start off by showing off Flynn's deck because I forgot to change Flynn's deck before we started, and this is a problem.
The Locomotiver.
All right, so Flynn as a darkness specialist has got really low quality cards, and yes, as Pascal mentions here, it took me forever to get Flynn's deck the way that I wanted it. And you should be specifically trying to get Shadow Moon for Flynn's deck for the campaign. But after you get Shadow Moon for the campaign, just before you go to the tournament hall, take it out of his deck, because the gimmick of the 5 colors tournament is that all of the players are going to end up fighting not only their mirror rival from Widow's faction, but also they're going to be fighting other people running their same color. And Shadow Moon has the effect that it buffs up all darkness creatures on the field, it buffs up all darkness creatures on the field by 2,000 points. So, since it buffs up all creatures, well, it's going to buff up all of your opponent's creatures too, specifically because a majority of your opponents are running either black or mono black. Sorry, darkness or mono darkness. Mana Nexus.
And first time players beware. Hope you didn't get too attached to Rebecca's playstyle.
Well, it's okay if you got attached to Rebecca's playstyle, because she has to go through the brackets too. All 5 players had to, all five representatives had to go through their own version of the brackets in order to make it to the finals.
The Dark Titan.
Gregorian Worm. Use Death Smoke to kill one of the Bloody Skeetos. Actually, we're killing Grey Balloon. Okay. Then have Bebelto attack in order to kill one of the Bloody Skeetos.
Murderous Compulsion.
Goodbye, Bloody Skeeto. Then have Bone Ghoul attack to kill one of the Bloody Skeetos. Except he didn't block me, damn it.
Got wise.
Then have the other Bone Ghoul attack to kill the Bloody Skeeto. Thank you.
Spirit Barrier and Astral Barrier? No.
Neither of those would actually be all that effective in this game. to be perfectly honest.
You think so?
Yeah, specifically because this game doesn't really work on points values. So, like, what would Spirit Barrier actually do?
Spirit Barrier makes it so that you can't take damage while you have creatures. Astral Barrier makes it so that if you have any creatures in play, you can treat an attack as a direct attack on your life points, which would be reduced to 0 because you have creatures.
Okay, except again, this game doesn't work on point values. So what would those do?
It makes it so that if you take a direct attack, you don't lose any shield.
Why?
Because you have creatures.
Except that's not how the shield breaks work.
No, I thought shield break is just the number. The shield just represents the. I thought the shield just represents the number of times you can get hit by a creature directly, except for creatures that have double shield breaker.
Exactly. So it doesn't actually matter. It doesn't actually matter how high the points value a creature has.
Right. The points don't enter into it. It's just, do they touch your life points or not? And the Astral Barrier Spirit Barrier combo would nullify direct attacks as long as you have creatures on the board.
But it doesn't nullify direct attacks. It nullifies damage.
Right. So the damage is 0.
This game doesn't use damage numbers.
Are there any creatures that have 0 power?
In this for this game specifically, I don't think so, but I do believe that several expansions later would actually introduce 0 power creatures.
Are there any effects in the game that can cause creatures to have 0 power or less?
Yes, however, creatures that go down to actually. No, that's a thing in Digimon, but not in this game specifically. Alright, Flynn won his first match. In the next episode, we'll continue on with Flynn's brackets. Also, you don't gain reputation points or cards during the 5 Colors tournament, meaning it's a total waste of time for progression.
Well, you come here in order to finish your progression by already having the skills you need to solve the brackets.
Uh-huh.